Welcome to Discovery Garden Pattaya. My name is Hans Fritschi. I'm going to talk about bay leaves today. You know, they are indispensable if you are a cook. They smell wonderful, wonderful. Is the dried stuff that you can buy. This is a company El Avión, the airplane in Spanish, so they probably are from Spain, these bay leaves, and this is a typical Mediterranean plant, an evergreen plant that grows into even places that don't have too much water, and they can be bought here in Thailand. But the question is, can we grow bay leaves in Thailand? Well, I'm standing beside one of our bay leaf plants here in Thailand. I grew this with plants that came from abroad, and as you can see, it has become quite nice plants within about 3 or 4 years. Over the years, I planted several in our 2 gardens. Here you see one that is not doing too well. As you can see, there are not too many leaves around, and some, but it didn't die. Okay, that is one result. Here we have a different plant where the birds made a home for themselves, so this is much more successful. You know, there are either plants that are doing very well and have power and are strong, and there are other individual plants that are not so strong, are feeble, do not know if they like to live or not, and there is a difference. And in general, it can be said that growing bay leaf, Laurus nobilis as it is called in Thailand, is a challenge. It's not so easy, but it can work. Here yet another example of a plant that is doing so-so. You see, there are some new leaves coming out now. They are red when they come out, and the ground is difficult for the roots. Here, just besides, another plant is doing much better, and apparently its roots get better along with the clay soil that we have here, that is preventing the roots to go deep as they can do in, for instance, in the chalky area of south of France. Here you see that bay leaf plants can be grown from seeds, but it is not so easy in Thailand because the seeds that you can get, I brought some from Europe last year, and I bought some from Croatia in the internet, and out of 250 seeds, we only got about 15 new seedlings like the ones here, and you will understand that the price for one of these small seedlings is with about 500 baht. It's quite high, but there is no other way that we can produce them cheaper or more reliably as through seeds. Here are some more bay leaf seedlings also grown from seeds. The problem with the seeds is that the mature bushes here in Thailand, they will not flower and therefore not produce any seeds. So we are dependent of getting really fresh and viable seeds from abroad, and that is very difficult. Another method to retrieve new plants is air layering, of course, marcotting as it is called. And this one developed some small roots, and but I planted it in about 3 weeks ago, and it still has not obviously died, but I hope it will make it, and that is another method to make new plants. Another method of making new plants is through cuttings. Here I cut some branches from our existing bay leaf plants in the garden and potted them, making sure that some of the buds are under the soil. And here you can see I cut back the leaves. So in the beginning there is of course stress until they have fairly well rooted and the plant is not able to support too many leaves. Here you see some red leaves, small leaves in the center, so this is not dead. Here the same, whereas here this seems to be dead on arrival. There seems to be no life coming. This one is not so sure. And this one, if you take a close look, there's also red small leaves coming, building in the center. So is this one. This is more exposed to the sun, and even this one might survive. So we have to come back in about here. Here, this is a beautiful sample of a plant that might live. And even though all around it is the same, the old leaves are dying, but in the center there is new life, as is the case with this one. So we can be hopeful that we can make some new plants through these cuttings. I made about 80 cuttings, and I would be happy if I can make about 20, oh this looks good too, 20 more plants. Well, this was it from Discovery Garden Pattaya, and I hope you learned something about bay leaf today. And if you liked what you saw, please join the Hans Fritschi channel on YouTube or Hans Fritschi Friends on Facebook, and see you again very, very soon.